So in today's video, I'm by myself. Jen is out and about with the kids, so I'm expecting ratings to be 0 for this one because it's just me. And in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about the fat burn zone, why it's a myth, but why it still works.
Munched away at those in my bedroom before I had my dinner.
Brilliant. Sounds great. So for me personally, if you want to get in shape, you need strength training, progressive overload on that strength training, a mixture of intensity and complexity, and obviously your nutrition has to be on point. But we can add in other things like the cardio. The cardio for me has always been one of those sort of topics that I end up debating with people and they just get stupid. So if you go into a normal gym and you look at some of the cardio equipment and machines, you will probably see the little chart on them that says heart rate training zones. Now the idea behind this is that if you're working at a lower intensity of your heart rate, you burn more fat and you're in the fat burn zone. And if you work at a higher intensity of your maximum heart rate, you are in the cardio zone. So you're working your heart and lungs, but you're not burning as much fat. So the idea was that, I'm going to work at a low intensity and stay in the fat burn zone. Now there's a couple of things right with that and there's a couple of things wrong with it, and here's where we get a wee bit sketchy. At this stage I should point out that this is totally unrehearsed. I'm doing it between bits of work and I have done no research on this at all. I'm purely working off memory. So don't quote me on numbers and any sort of statistics that come out. So 220 minus your age is generally your maximum heart rate. So 220 minus my case 40, nice numbers, is 180. So my maximum heart rate should be about 180. This will never totally work. Some people genetically will be well skew with this, but 180 beats per minute is meant to be my maximum heart rate. For me to be in the fat burn zone, I'm going to be working at, I think it's about 55, 60, 65% of my maximum heart rate. My MAS isn't great, so you can work that out. Say 100-ish beats per minute would give me the fat burn zone. My cardio zone then is a lot closer to the 180, so it's up at about that 70, 80%. So say I'm working at like 150 beats per minute, maybe is closer to my cardio zone. Now here's where the MAS sort of throws it out. If you're in the fat burn zone, you burn more fat, and this is important, as a percentage. So it's about 50%. So for numbers sake, let's say I do half an hour of cardio at 55% of my maximum heart rate and I burn 100 calories. Well, 50% of that, 50 calories, will come from fat. So I am in the fat burn zone. I've burnt 50% of my total calories, and that's the fat burn zone. If I'm in the cardio zone, so I'm working at that higher heart rate, working harder, I may be burning not quite as much as 50%. So in this case, let's say 40% of our total calories come from fat. Right, so we're at a lower percentage than the fat burn zone. So on paper you would think, okay, I want to burn fat, I'm going to go into the fat burn zone. But when you have 40% of a higher number, it equals a higher amount. So if you've got 100 calories here being used in the fat burn zone and 50% or 50 calories comes from fat, and if we do the cardio or high heart rate sort of zone, but we burn 200 calories, although it's only 40% fat, 40% of 200 is still $80 calories. So we've got 80 calories from fat in the cardio zone, but just 50 calories from fat in the fat burn zone. So while there's a higher percentage in the fat burn zone, the total calories and therefore the total fat is better from the cardio zone. What does that mean to you and how should you apply it? Well, there's a couple of things here. So If, for example, you are strength training, which is the ultimate way to get in shape alongside proper solid nutrition, and you want to do some cardio, then it makes sense to do the high intensity HIIT sort of stuff that gets your heart rate going, gets your fitness up, burns more total calories, and therefore burns more total fat as well. But, and this is the big but, if you're someone like me who does a sport, and you know I'm jiu-jitsu, so I do a sport and I lift weights quite a lot. Well, if I'm adding in more HIIT and more cardio, it can be quite hard in the system. And I never want to introduce cardio to a level that affects my strength training. So for me, my sport is plenty. Before I did sport, I did no cardio, and I just focused on getting stronger. So if you're doing a lot of activity and a lot of strength work, rather than adding in extra HIIT and extra sort of high intensity stuff, it might work out better to actually do more of the fat burn zone, because it's almost active recovery. It's the low intensity stuff, and this will give you a chance to recover before your next strength training session. So today's video, I just wanted to touch on that because the guy put up on my Facebook that he was training in the fat burn zone, and the way he explained it, he didn't really know what he was talking about. So yeah, you need to know how the maths isn't quite right. So I hope that helps a little bit. And I might make a series out of these small myths that sort of work but don't work. And again, my maths isn't great, but hopefully that helps. So remember to like, subscribe, and do all the YouTubey shizzle, and I'll see you on the next one. I'll try and get Jen on, or might even get one of my clients on for a bit of a chat about why they're so awesome. So keep an eye for that.